Hi guys, welcome to writing today. So for writing today, we're going to focus on thesis statements. This will end up being part of your introduction, but it is probably the most important part of your introduction because it lets your reader know exactly what you're going to be talking about, and it lets your reader know your claim or opinion. So your learning target is I can write a thesis statement, and your success criteria, the things we want you to be able to do by the end of this video, are that you write or wrote a complete sentence. One sentence, it's complete, okay? And then you included your, this is onion, it's supposed to say opinion. Wow, your teacher cannot spell opinion. There we go. I typed too fast, sorry. And 3 reasons in your thesis statement. So your opinion and your 3 reasons will all be in that one sentence, maybe 2 sentences max, depending on how much you wrote. And that you created 2 or more thesis statements. You'll create some with me, you'll create one on your own, and then you'll even practice creating some later. Okay? So a thesis statement, what is this thing that I'm supposed to be doing? Well, it's something that you include when you write an essay. So a thesis statement is a statement telling your reader what you're going to be talking about in one long sentence. So think back to our informational writing. And just so you remember, informational writing is where I'm teaching. Okay, I'm teaching you facts. I'm not giving opinions. So in that, we wrote a sentence like, today I'm going to be teaching you about dogs, how to care for them, how to take them for walks, how to train them, right? So that was our thesis statement. We just didn't call it that. So this time we're going to call it what it is, and this is something you'll even hear in college. You'll hear professors talk about thesis statements. You'll hear it in high school, in middle school. So it's something that will stick with you for a long time. Okay? So we're doing opinions. So in our opinion thesis statement, remember, we are going to be, 1, stating our opinion. Okay, then we're going to say, well, because of reason 1 and reason 2, and most of all, because of reason 3. Okay, so notice that this is one complete sentence, but I have my opinion and my 3 reasons. Okay, so how do I do all that? Well, let's talk about that. So I'm going to practice, okay, and I'm going to show you how I would do this. So if I were you, I would grab a piece of paper and do this with me. First off, I would write this down on your piece of paper, because that is the format I'm going to use. It's kind of like a cheat sheet, meaning I don't have to think about much. I just have to write things in certain places. So go ahead, pause the video if you need to do that. Now, let's talk about it. My opinion. It means somebody could have a different opinion. Again, so it's not a fact. It's something. I love ice cream, but maybe Mr. Davison, maybe he doesn't like ice cream. Okay? He would have a different opinion. I don't know if he does or doesn't, but there's a possibility, okay? So it says opinion in parentheses, so I'm just going to write my opinion, which is in this box right here. I love ice cream. Okay? Because. Notice that I'm literally just kind of copying. I just copied this word because. Okay? Reason 1. Well, this is my first reason. Okay? So I love ice cream because you can add different toppings. Now, I'm not going to say that whole sentence. I'm just going to focus on the ending here, because you can add different toppings, okay? So I'm writing it in. Feel free to do the same. Actually, you should be doing the same. Pause the video if you need to. So now I've written in my reason 1, and it has a comma, so I'm going to copy that. And I'll write a comma, comma. Now I'm going to give reason 2, which again, I'm just going to focus on this little section right here in my reason 2. There are so many flavors. Okay. Okay, now I need comma, and most of all, because it is refreshing. Now I could say refreshing on a hot day, or I could just say refreshing. It depends on what you want to do with your writing, but I'm thinking that makes sense. So now I'm going to read my thesis statement, and it's actually just one long sentence. I love ice cream because you can add different toppings. There are so many flavors, and most of all, it is refreshing. That sounds like I really know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to do a good job convincing you. So let's move on to this next one. You're going to practice again. This one you definitely need to be writing down with me, okay? We're going to use our little cheat sheet thing again. So if you haven't already written this down, pause the video, write it down, please. It will help you. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my opinion. So look at my little work here. Where is my opinion? It's in the box, hopefully is what you're saying. So it's right here. Dogs make the best pets, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start writing that. Dogs make the best pets. Because I'm going to copy that word for word. So if it's not in the parentheses, I'm literally copying it word for word, or punctuation for punctuation, okay? That's the nice thing about thesis statements, is you've already done all the thinking. You just kind of have to put it together. Well, reason one is right here, and I'm not going to write because dogs make the best pets because they are trainable. And I actually don't like the wording, so I'm going to say they're easy to train. They're easy to train. Okay, got that. Comma, reason two, they're pretty easy to take care of. They're easy. Oops, pretty sure that's, yeah. Ooh, easy to take care of. And then reason three, make great companions. But you'll notice that it says comma and most of all, so I am going to add that. They make great companions. Okay. So I added my period because that would be the last of my punctuation. And now I'm going to read it and make sure that it sounds nice. Dogs make the best pets because they're easy to train, they're easy to take care of, and most of all, they make great companions. I feel like this person knows what they're talking about. Okay, just because of the way they worded things. That's why the thesis statement is important. It's going to let your reader know, one, what you're going to talk about, two, what your opinion is, and it just makes you sound like you know what you're doing. Okay, so now you're going to try this one, okay? You're going to try and write a thesis statement, just like our learning target says, for the work below here. The pizza is the best food. Pizza is the best food because there are different toppings. Pizza is the best food because it's easy to make. And pizza is the best because it is easy to find, meaning there's plenty of restaurants to go to. Okay? So go ahead and try writing a thesis statement for that work, the planning that somebody did. Pause the video. Okay, so you should have written your thesis statement. So I'm going to quickly show you what I would have done. Well, it says opinion. So I'm going to find my opinion. It's in the box. It says pizza. Pizza is the best food. And then because, so I'm going to write my because, comma, sorry, I'm going ahead of myself, because there are many different toppings. You could say different as long as it's the same meaning. Comma, sorry, now I'm at reason two, easy to make. I'm going to put it's easy to make. Wow, my little pen here doesn't want to work. Easy to make, comma, and most of all.
It's easy to find.
Okay, now I'm going to read this and make sure it makes sense. Pizza is the best food because there are so many toppings, it's easy to make, and most of all, it's easy to find. Yeah, I could go to the grocery store and find pizza. I could go to the restaurant and find pizza. It's easy. Okay, so yours should look almost exactly like mine. You might have a couple words that look a little bit different. Hopefully your handwriting looks better than mine, but it should look pretty similar. So, now what? Well, now you're going to practice this learning target right here, the one we've been doing. You're going to write a thesis statement. So you're going to write a thesis statement for one of your topics that you planned yesterday, and it says yesterday, but what it actually means is, what day was that? Monday and Tuesday. Okay, you would have planned it Monday and Tuesday. I saw somebody saying I like leaves because it's fall time. I saw some other people talk about I love Christmas, I love Halloween. You guys already planned these, so now you're going to use that to create a thesis statement. So if you didn't write down the outline, I'm going to bring it back up in a second, but you really need to write it down because you need it. Number 2 is then you're just going to do today's activity, okay? So here again is the outline that you should follow when working on your thesis statement. So if you did not do that, write that down. You need to now, or at least take a screenshot so that way you can refer back to it. If you have any questions, please ask myself or Mr. Davison.